can participate. Set a delay. What is all this? I don't need to see that. Hi, you guys. I love when I looked, it said 13 seconds, so welcome. So let me start this properly. Stardate 6 of Armageddon. It's been I've lost count. Time. What is time? It's been 6 days. It's been 6 days and I don't know how many hours since we all were locked in here. Oh, I love Sinead O'Connor. Oh, I can't even. I shot a few like shorts when she died, her and Paul Rubens, and never posted them because they were just too emotional. Anyway, this Snowmageddon was not what I thought it was going to be. So this episode is going to be all over the place, and that's okay because that's where I'm at. Also, there's this really cool lighting happening everywhere. It kind of like doesn't matter where I go. There's like this cool lighting, but then there's like also this. All right, so half and white. Like, so hey, pause the video, go and get yourself a cup of tea, a glass of wine, smoke them if you got them. I don't know how long this is going to be, but Bubba, I've got like Pharrell over me. So cheers. Let's smoke a bowl together and let's talk spirit and ego, because this is the deck that wanted to come in. Answer is simple. And if you've been working with me a long time, this is the first decks I ever got. And I was kind of like, why this deck? Like, I didn't understand. But then when I started working with it, I was like, oh yeah, okay. That makes perfect sense because it's about the ego. So lots been happening in my lockdown. So if you want to hear about it, pull up a chair, a couch. If you're going for a drive, enjoy yourself. But we may do some stuff where we will close our eyes. So just be aware of that. I don't know what we're going to do. This may just be a chat. I definitely know we're pulling cards. We'll see what happens after this. So cheers. Breakfast of champions. Absolutely. Can you see the eagle? Oh, also, hold on. Yeah, we're going to be doing some shit. We're going to be doing some shit. You guys, I miss you guys. And I know a lot of you guys have been texting me, messaging me. You've been commenting on here. I just haven't had the bandwidth. No, because when I'm in light, I'm like, yeah, let's like have a good time, everybody. But when I'm in shadow, I'm like, y'all got to take care of your damn selves, because I ain't your mama, even Bubba. But the worst part about all this is we must like send and give Bubba so much love, because Bubba goes outside every day. Like, it's like her favorite part of the day. Bubba has not been outside since Snowmageddon began on Thursday. So Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, day 4. 4 days where Bubba hasn't been outside. That's a lot for her. And I don't even know if I think she went outside when it started to snow on Thursday. But anyway, it's just been tough all the way around for all of us. It's been tough. So with that being said, I'm like, should I come closer? Yeah, come closer. I feel like I'll get more intimate with you guys. Hi. But I'm like, oh, maybe not. Maybe I should stay back here. I digress. So yeah, and we've learned so many lessons about this. And also I'm like, do I want to be a homeowner? Do I want this much responsibility? It's been an eye-opener, but it's been a blessing too. Just all the way around, there's just been so many things. And it's funny because we went from a very small, big camper was 10 by 26 feet. And it was short, but then it went up higher in one part. And of course, that was our blessing because he's 6'2". We would have never survived in there. Scraping the ceiling everywhere else, And then we lived in an RV that was 35 by 10. and that was better. And we had a bedroom, and that really made a difference. But the irony is, it was a lot easier to maintain, even though it was a pain in the arse. And like, just, the moisture in there, being off grid, it was like really hard using propane. And anyway, I've learned so much from these experiences. I learned that this city girl can now fucking, I'll live off grid. What? I can do it. Do I want to? That's what I'm trying, like starting to, because I'm at the point now where I'm like, I want to work smarter, not harder. And I'm grateful for the harder part because it's really helped me tremendously. But as you can see, as the dark circles under my eyes can show you, maybe I should come back in here, that it is not for the faint of heart. And mostly because when you are in 15-degree temperatures and you are in a small space, it's hard to keep the tin can warm. But if you have high heat going the whole time, it will definitely, help. But you go through propane really fast. Like we just learned so much. I mean, honestly, like so much. And yes, I'm going to write a book or do something, or are you kidding? Since we've been in lockdown, I've already come up with a fucking awesome sitcom that, like, seriously, at this point, I have so many ideas that I don't know why I would have this many awesome ideas, and not just to throw flowers at myself, but like shit where, like, I'll ask my partner, I'm like, is it as good or as funny as I think it is or whatever? No, and he's like, no, that's funny or that's good or whatever. But the latest breakthrough I had for a sitcom, I want to tell you guys about it so bad, but it's so fucking funny that I could write the script every day and I think every episode would be amazing. And I think so many shows have like laid the foundation for it to happen. Because if I had like tried to write this or done this, I mean, I just couldn't. But anyway, I love Lucifer. I love The Shadow. I have fallen deep in love with The Shadow. So much so that I'm like, should I be a redhead again? I'm like feeling red. I'm not feeling the blonde. And I've been like putting oils in my hair to go darker blonde to see like what I like to be darker blonde, and maybe I not go that far. But yeah, it's not a crisis of consciousness. It's like an amazing breakthrough of consciousness. And so I haven't said anything because there's been a lot stirring in this noodle, and I just feel so blessed. But it has not been easy. And poor Alder, I mean, I don't want to say poor Alder, but both of us, like every day, it's like it's work, because we went from a small, space to now we have 20-foot ceilings. It's really hard to keep this kind of place warm at 15 degrees without sun. So it's been, we have not done like not even a quarter, not even a third, maybe a quarter, not a third of the things that we wanted to do. The things that were like, oh, I'm going to do this in lockdown, or we're going to, I'm like, and we're going to create, we're going to color, and, we're going to make love, and we're going to build snowmen. And like, instead of spend like, dude, I'm so cold. I am so cold too. Where it's like, we've gotten closer. I mean, I'll tell you what, these kind of things really bond us in the most beautiful ways. But also it's like, get the fuck out of my space. I could tell there's been days he's like, I go, am I driving you crazy? So it's been nice to have a separate room. So it's definitely been comedic, and I can write a fucking like movie from this experience. And yeah, 2024 is my fucking year. I'm telling you right now, it is my year. I am blessed. I am blessed. I am blessed. I am so abundant. I am so wealthy. I have more money than I ever knew what to do with, and I'm going to help the world. I'm going to give back, and I'm really grateful for everything that I've been through. Like, the dark has been so dark, so dark, but it's been so good too. I mean, there's moments where I'm like, am I dead? Because there's just so much. And there's so much awesomeness. Like, and there's so much magic and miracles. And there is something going on with this land. Something happened here at some point. And I think if I talk to like because this is all tribal land. And this tribe is like, there's they can date back at least 1,200 years that they've been on this land. It could be longer, but they can date that by other things. So very interesting. And we've just been going through so much. So the reason why we're in such a lockdown is because where we live, we're up really high on a hill. And it was an old, it was logging. And then once it was forested and they replanted, they sold it, because it's going to take another 40 years or whatever for them to be able to log it, right? So they just sold it. And long story short, this house was not built legally. And there's just all of these things that we're finding with the house. And it's like, it doesn't matter how hard you do this one thing or how hard you work at this other thing, or it's like, it literally has its own energy. And I have been seeing things, Alder's been seeing things. I've caught Bubba like looking at things, talking to things, like just really crazy cool, like, and I feel like this is one of those things where it's like, I really have no idea what's going to happen. It's like living in my own like reality show, because I don't even know what's going to happen. I'm like, there are days I'm like, oh, I love this place. I'm like, I love it so much. I'm like, and it's so magical. And then there's days where I'm like, this is insane. I'm like, who built this? I'm like, what is going on? It's like certain things don't make sense. And it's just funny. You know what I mean? Like, you have to laugh, because if you don't, you will go crazy. And that's where I was like, yeah, it's just been funny. And there are days where, Alder and I are like, what the fuck? Anyway, so getting back, I'm like, I love when the weed starts to really kick in, because I'm like, where am I? Who are you guys? But that's okay. That's what I love about it. That's what I fucking love about it, because sometimes you just got to escape. You got to escape. It's not, we deal with things to a certain degree. And it's like, we wouldn't have these things here if they weren't here to aid us and help us. They're not here to, right? They're not here to drive the bus. Our third eye is here to help guide us. But we can't allow the darkness or whatever to, don't you love how the light's changing around? Fucking awesome. So here's the main road, and we're up here. Magical? Fuck yeah. Crazy awesome. There's like no one around us, can't hear anybody. Magical. Feels like we're in our own forest, in our woods. Awesome. Yes. This is our driveway. You get the picture. The first one going from our house down, like that first spot. No. Even if we had a 4x4 and chains, no. It is literally like a skating rink. And you know what's at the end of that? Well, it's called Zoe's Corner now. And if we stay, we're going to make it into a cool tree house where you can come and stay and stuff. And, our dream is to build this into something really magical and cool, where people can come and do spirit work and work with music and plant medicine and healing, all cool, fun stuffs, But at the same time, it is in a wooded area. So if you would only hope that the trees would stop you, because otherwise you'd be like, ooh. And if you get enough air, you can go full on into the main fucking road. That's the way it goes and hugs around our hill. So yeah, no. When it's like that, you're up here. So Alder and I know from last year it was like that. So I said, I think you should park further down by the gate, because even where we were with the RV, which was like halfway down, you still have to go down a little bit of a, it's not bad, but again, you hit the wrong patch. I'm from Chicago. I learned to drive. My birthday is in December. So, right? I was driving the second I fucking got my license, right? So I was learning to drive in the winter of my 16th, year, my 16th winter, I was learning to drive on ice. My one friend, Robbie, growing up, traumatized me. Literally, and like he would talk about it. I'm like, dude, stop talking about it. I'm like, that was so fucking traumatizing. We were in his little Fiero. I think that's the kind of car it was. It's funny now because we survived, but when we were in it, he was like, watch this. And we were going around this parking lot. And there was a moment that I think even he wasn't sure if he was going to be able to stop. And we were like spinning, spinning, spinning. And I'm like, dude, I'm like, I want off this ride, we were fucking kids, stupid shit. But I'm just saying, I know I can feel ice. I can look at ice and say, like, that's a lot of salt. You'd have to have a lot of salt on there to like, I mean, when it's like this thick and it's like, and it's literally like this, and those who've been here know I'm not joking. It really is like that steep, the first one. So yeah, he parked halfway down, and even he's like, I don't even think if I parked all the way down. He's like, because from the main road going up into our property, you have to go like that. You kind of almost have to gun it to go up. And he's like, yeah, so what are we going to do? Glide into the fucking freeway? I'm like, oh, that's lovely. So it's been interesting. So now we're like having to wait. And I had a feeling because just the way everything this said, honey, I think we're going to be in lockdown longer than you think. I'm like, everybody else around here is probably just going to go back to normal. But people like us, it's like, you're stuck up here until it melts. Blessed be, it's supposed to melt by this weekend. But I was like, you realize we had food for like 3 more days. He's like, yeah. I'm like, we're going to be okay. I'm like, we're going to be okay. And I was like, honestly, if worse came to worse, I hate to say that thing, but there is a bus line. Everybody else is going back to normal. You know what I mean? It's just that we just have to wait, because what happens is it's like sheet upon sheet upon sheet. When you've got snow and the cold, it's like, yeah. And now it's in that spot where it's like melting and it's getting more watery, but then overnight it's still like in the teens. You know what I mean? So we were really blessed because for the first 5 weeks we were in here, the temperatures were between like 38 and 52, like a low of 38 overnight. So every day that we've been here, Alder's had to he's had to walk I don't know if it's more than halfway, it's definitely halfway, but he's had to go down the hardest parts on the ice. He's had to go up and down in the morning and in the early evening to keep starting the car and making sure that, everything is okay. And, also we chopped, I helped stack it. I helped bring it in. But he's like, oh yeah, we'll have plenty of wood. But when it got really, really cold, the reason why I have these circles is because it was like every few hours I had to get up and do it. And that was kind of like how we did it, because he was out there in like the freezing cold, chopping wood and then like bringing it in and drying the wood. And when he started to realize, he's like, this isn't going to last us. Like, holy shit. Because we'd been so spoiled when it was nice and the house was keeping good heat. And then I put in all the curtains and we washed all the rugs and the curtains and everything. We put everything in. And it just wasn't, because we've got 20-foot ceilings now. We were used to having really low ceilings and heat rises, but our top windows, we didn't cover them. And we didn't really think about it until later that, wow, maybe we should have covered those windows. But they also have been our source of sunshine, because we've had to keep all the other windows and everything shut. So we've been basically like shut in. And we couldn't even like look outside. So in a weird way, I'm glad, because I think Spirit would have told me, because I didn't really think about it. But I did say that to Alder. I go, remember when we used to be in lockdown last year and the other years before, we couldn't even look outside and you just felt like crazy. And Bubba couldn't go outside. And it was worse because we had a smaller space. But now we have a bigger space and you have to heat a bigger space. So 20-foot ceilings, heat rises, exposed big windows at the top of the A-frame of the 20-foot ceilings. Yeah. So it's like, are we blessed? Yes. Is the view amazing? Yes. Is everything you're seeing glorious and we feel blessed and it's magical? Yes. But Is it difficult? Yes. So yeah, stoking the fire, keeping it going, and just we learned a lot. So that's what I'm saying. It's like either this is just going to be some little, hissy cry, which is okay. We need to like be real. Or is it, where I'm realizing like maybe this isn't the right fit for us, but now we know and we learned a lot from this and it'll go to whomever it's supposed to go to. But I have this odd feeling that this land, not that it's cursed, I don't want to say that it's cursed or hexed or anything like that, but there's some type of portal here. And I know that before, the people before us who lived here said a lot of weird shit happened. Like all the people who lived here have said weird shit have happened. They've experienced weird shit, dark magic, like whatever. And even the owner of the house has said the same thing. Like when he was here by himself, many times he's like, he felt spooked. It was one of the times he said, he goes, I was spooked. He's like, this place is spooky. I'm like, it kind of is, but at the same time, it's cool and interesting. And it feels, I don't think anyone opened it. I think that a lot of healing or something took place here. I believe that this land at some point was some type of healing or I don't know. I mean, I don't 100% know. I really don't. I don't think I'm supposed to know. You know what I mean? Or at least not right now. But this property, this house, it's definitely a learning experience. Like when we passed down Big Camper to their next person, it was really weird the way that happened too, because we literally could have made twice as much as we sold it for. And I felt like both of us knew, like with everything that we were, that we needed to go with this other buyer, and this was silly, and we need to cancel this sale. We just felt really not good about it. It was like, get $2,000, have somebody come and tow it off the property, because last minute, like he had been test driving it and working on it and doing all these things, and then when he went for the last test drive, something broke. I don't remember now. The starter, I think. Anyway, long story short, it was a vintage vehicle. It was hard to find a certain one. So this one person was coming all the way up from Portland to the Olympia area to buy it. And she was like, I don't know if I'm gonna have all the money. I mean, it was just all this where I'm like, I love helping people, but I was like, you know what? We need help too. And I'm like, I don't know where we're going or what's going to happen. Like, we're literally going to be living out of our car. So I'm like, I don't, we can really use more $2,000 than $1,000. But we only paid $700 for Big Camper. We lived in it for, I don't know, 6 years, something like that. I literally don't even know anymore. And basically what I'm getting to is that I started to realize that Big Camper was a challenge. Like she was there to teach, like everything has, she was like an entity, the way she came into our lives, the way, she was our home, just like, I feel like I really grew into my spirit there, into my gifts. And the person who bought it was really witchy, really witchy. Ooh, I'm feeling like this interesting energy in my hand. So I felt like I was meant to pay it forward, and so that's what we did. And we paid it forward. And it ended up being a headache for them, but I feel like it was for them too. And even though they didn't see it that way, or maybe they do now, she had a lot of potential and a lot of growth to be quite amazing. But there were certain things that needed to be done. And some things you can't half-ass it. You have to do it all the way. If we had really gutted Big Camper the way we wanted to and made her into the tiny home we wanted to, we may still have her. We may live somewhere else. Who knows? But things happen differently. I guess the moral of the story is, and what I want to share with you guys, is sometimes we manifest something into our lives. And then when the manifestation becomes real, Spirit keeps showing us which direction we can take to either say, wow, we did that. We manifested that. That was awesome. What do we want to manifest next? Where do we want to go next? Or this is where I'm supposed to be. This is what I'm meant to do. and work hard for it. Did you hear me? I'm like, I need some water. Y'all know I ain't afraid of the challenge. I am not afraid of a challenge. However, I am tired. I'm tired. I'm tired. So I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. But I'm ready. And I'm going to continue working and continue blessing the world with my stories so that they can maybe get some insight into their own. That's really all we're here for. I want to pull some cards because I'm getting tired. Yeah, so stoking the fire, that's been an interesting thing. It's like having a newborn, except for, that lasts for a long time. But, we are a good team. I will say this, Alder and I, we are a phenomenal team. We really are. I keep the house inside, I keep us all fed with good food. And, I kind of look at what we have and try to stretch things out, but also have days where I'm like, let us be bountiful. It's interesting. Alder calls me the house manager. I am the house manager. He's the outside manager. I'm the inside manager. And Bubba's Bubba. Yeah, Bubba's had it the worst, man. She's really had it the hardest because there's one. Because going outside and the grass, I dropped the ball on that. I didn't think about that. I watch her eat grass every day. I just dropped the ball. That was one thing I didn't get her, but I'll learn for next time, if there's a next time. And that's the thing. Will there be a next time? Will there be a next time? I don't know. But I'll tell you what, it's not fun being stuck up here. We're like, whoa, no, it's making me feel a little, batty. And it's funny because all the things that I wanted us to do, I think would have helped us not be batty. But I also feel like we needed to get a little batty so that we can work through that part of our shadow, because at the end of the day, I said, think about this. Because I said, if you had all the money in the world, would you take the money and put it back into this place in this location and make this your home, or would you go somewhere else? And he's like, I'd go somewhere else. And I go, and then that's our answer. And because I kind of feel the same way. We were watching something that was in France, and I was like, oh man, I love Paris. I'm like, I love Europe. And it was in Italy. Well, we watched something in Paris too, but then it was in Italy. And I said, okay, look at that view. Look at where they are. I said, their view is pretty amazing, comparable to our view in terms of hills and mountains and whatever. He's like, yeah, that's really beautiful. And I said, so if you could live there or you can live here, where would you live? He's like, oh, I would live there. I go, that's in the Mediterranean. And we both have been feeling that. I've been wanting to go to the Mediterranean for a long time. So I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know where the road will take us, or I don't know, but 2024 is going to be so cool and so interesting. I have no idea what's going to happen. And now the sun has left. I love you guys. Thank you so much for being here. Look at Let Go and Flow. 2908 and then 2909. Because also I said, what if this is ours and we are meant to do that, but then, we are building this as like our business, where people will come and whatever, but we live in the Mediterranean. In the winter, other people live here. They know the story. They know what it's like. They say not every winter is like this. I'm like, but last winter was like this in November. It happened in November, and now it happened here in January. So we were really, really blessed until now. And I think it gave us kind of a false security. You know what I mean? And then once we realized oh shit, because I said to him, I was like, even if we get out of here in the next few days, I said, how are we going to drag the propane tanks up? Are we going to drag the water up? We get our drinking water and we get all of our water, and our other heat source that isn't the fireplace from off the property. And if we can't deliver it up here, we can't bring it up here. I'm like, are we going to drag it up here? I'm like, I'm like, a sled would be good about now. Interesting. You know what I mean? It's just all these things. But he's so smart. He started to think about that. So he's got like these. Anyway, we'll figure it out. But that's the thing, is like we've become like really powerful off-gridders. You know, it's just taught us so much. So we'll see. Listen to the music. Number 19, listen to the music. So if you're struggling in any way, listen to the music. Let go and flow. So this one's 27, which is the number 9. And listen to the music is 19, which is 1 before 9. But if you add them together, it's 10. So we're almost there. I feel like a lot of us, like we're at the end of our, because I have days where I'm like, I'm a badass motherfucker. We're badass motherfuckers. You know, I'm like, we're warriors. Oh, and did I tell you guys? Hold on. And then other days I'm like, I just want to turn on water and it be hot. I just, you know, anyway, I digress. But one of the last times that we were in our local store, I don't remember if I told you guys this or not. I might have. But it was really interesting because I was kind of dressed like this, you know, over, because I had my coat on underneath it. And Alder, you know, was wearing his kind of stuff like that and his beanie. And he's got his beard and everything. And we come around the corner and all these people kind of looked at us. It was this moment where the shop was really, really busy. And everybody just like, I don't know, we kind of stopped traffic for a minute. And not to throw flowers myself. That's happened to me my whole life because I've always dressed, been different, whatever, and my energy and stuff. But, you know, when we're together, we're kind of a force of nature. And him too, because he's 6'2" and he's all like that, right? So it was like this lady comes out of nowhere. She just like, I don't even know where she came. She was like, comes around the corner and she goes, and she looked at both of us and she goes, you guys look like the couple from the Vikings. She's like, seriously, she goes, I feel like I just like went back in time. And it was really, really, really funny. But yeah, so I definitely have been feeling this king and queen vibe from Alder and I. I'm like, dude, we probably were like some like Viking king and queen together in another lifetime. And, you know, because we're both just as dark as each other and we're both as light and beautiful as each other, you know. It's really funny. Funny how I didn't give dark an adjective. Beautiful. So yeah, this experience is growing and stretching us in ways that I didn't even think was possible. And I say that every time, and then every time I'm like, I grow and stretch even more. That's what I'm saying. So, yeah, this is my fucking year, man. Something's coming together and I can feel it. And I don't feel any remorse around it. There were days where I would get so attached to this where I'm like, oh, if this isn't ours, I'm going to be so sad. I'm like, I love it here. I'm like, look at, some days we just stare out the window together. We're just like, it's so magical here. And then times like this, I'm like, that's not magical enough. Like, I love it. It's beautiful. But like, also I can leave it, which I think is why it's so powerful. I want to turn and show you guys the clouds right now. But the last time I did that, it like messed up. And I don't even know how good the reception is coming in now. But the clouds are doing that thing where they're like, like bars, you know, across. It's really magical. And the sun is just magical behind the trees, and it is magical here, but it's magical all over the planet. And if we're meant to stay here, then we will, and if we're not, we won't, and I'm okay with that. And he told us we have a few weeks to buy it, and he's putting it on the market, and we're okay with that. Like, you know, we look at it like if it sells, it's meant to be with someone else, and let them take this on, you know, maybe it's meant to be their challenge, like with the big camper, you know, and it's time for it to move on to whomever is, you know, because the truth is, with about a few $100,000, you could really turn this place into something unbelievable. But I'm like, I don't know if I almost would rather, as sad as this is, I would almost rather knock it down and start over. And I don't love this area that much to do that. I love this area and I love a lot of things about it. And if I'm meant to immerse myself into this community, I will. But if I don't, then I don't. And if we're meant to move on, then we will. And I think it's interesting that Alder and I both have that very wandering gypsy energy, and it's part of our spirit. We're meant to bring the magic and bring the medicine. And either this is our home that we work on, and we hop in our little, Euro van and tour around and whatever, or, we don't and we move forward. And I don't know, I'm feeling very hopeful, oddly. I know it just sounds like a nightmare, but I just feel so strong and dignified in my strength, knowing that I really can take on anything. And, I know Spirit has my back, and I do believe in magic and miracles, and they've had my back the whole time. They've literally had my back the whole time. And I've felt them there. I felt the hand when I was about to, step in front of a train or step in front of, a vehicle. Now instead of that, I hear think about all the lives you'll affect that didn't ask for this. That's not part of their plan, and I'll be like, that's interesting, right? But everybody does what they do. And so who am I to say if somebody steps in front of a train and kills other people and affects other people's lives? It was meant to be. And that is the fun part about all this, is realizing that we have all the control of our own destiny, yet we continue to give our control away. And control is an odd thing. And micromanaging, I've been doing that because instead of doing this with you guys or doing readings, because that's how I worked that out. But since we've all been here, Alder and Bubba and myself, it's been really difficult, even, just being in separate rooms, because we had to keep, today is like a warmer day. This is the only reason why I'm doing this, is because I have the curtain pulled back. I'm in the bedroom. In the main room, I really can't keep the curtains back for too long because it gets really cold really fast. Because now, we're getting up to 30 during the day, but it's, until we get to 49 during the day, which is supposed to be in a few days, blessed be, and a lot of sunshine. We're going to get some rain, which will be good. And as long as it just stays warmer. But yeah, it's been very interesting. That's all I can say. It's been very interesting. And then, the most interesting about this as well is that Alder reached out to his cousin the day before the storm hit. I had said, I think we need more water. He's like, we're going to be fine. I'm like, no, I am telling you, we have to get more water. So his cousin is renting this house, and he was like, hey dude, can I come by and get some water? And he was like, yeah. So he goes to get water, and he was going to get water, and his cousin's like, oh, hey, you're going to have to get it from the spigot outside, because he's like, I'm on a plane. I'm on my way to Hawaii. He's like, oh. So he filled all of them. And let's just say, yeah, if we hadn't, we would have run out of water by now. So that is interesting. And it's because we lived in the RV the way we did, with water, living off grid. Because when we were in Big Camper on the farm, we had electricity and running water. But when we first moved onto the property, while they were in the remodel phase, we lived there off grid. And we wanted to see what that was like first. So it's been like we've been graduating, like Goldilocks and the Three Bears. 39-17. Interesting. I know 17 for somebody, but 39, I don't know. And that's also 12, which is 3, and 8, which is 2, which is 5. Interesting. So change and transformation. We've been evolving into this, and now it's like, okay, where do we go? What do we do? Why are we here? What's happening? What lessons are we learning? Which part of us are we strengthening? Which part of us are we loosening, softening up? It's been quite interesting indeed. So thank you for listening, and thank you for your love and your support and your prayers. And donations, if you guys, or readings, if you guys want readings, like I am in lockdown. I wasn't ready before, but I'm ready now. It's getting warmer. That's why, because before I like, it was too hard. Um, yeah, and I did a reading on New Year's Day and it was so amazing. And I was really excited to kick off the year. And then it's like, we started getting ready for this. It took us like a week to really prep for this. And then we've been in lockdown. Today's day 6. So yeah. It's been quite intense. It's been quite, it's been quite, I'm really looking forward to Bubba being able to go outside because I make light of it. Like you'll see she and I made some funny videos about it, but she does not like snow and she won't, it's like, she's like, oh. And then there's this video where I open the door and she just wants to sit there. And I'm like, I know she wants the fresh air and all that. And she's like, I need grass. I'm like, I know. And so I've just been, oh, and she's got this monstrous, awful dread, one of the worst dreads she's ever had. And now it's like twisted around on her skin. Oh, my poor baby. She won't let me cut it. I've been trying to work on it. So she's grouchy, which of course she's grouchy, you know, that hurts. I know she'll work through it. She's a champion. She's a champion. And when she wants me to intercede, she'll be like, all right, do it, cut it off. She does. She does get to a point. So she's not that much of a martyr. But she's been having a lot of catnip. And yeah, she's just, but yeah, so we haven't been able to work for a week. Alder hasn't been able to work for a week. And it sucks because we were really on track to like, like getting ahead again. And it's like, what is happening? Luckily, our landlord, benefactor, understands. He understands the property, understands. And this storm kind of came out of nowhere. We had enough warning to get ready for it, but it wasn't like, you know, something had happened like up in Alaska, like some storm front had gone through there and they weren't sure if it was going to affect here. And because of where we are, we're in the Sun Belt and we don't see winter like that. That's why it was in like 45 to 50, you know, even in the beginning of the winter, because it's just nicer up here. But last year in November, we had that, but then it got warmer, you know what I mean? So it's just shifted. But yeah, so that came through and there's nothing you can do about it. You just have to bear down and get ready. So he's being really cool about it, but also because he knows like we're good for it and, you know, it'll all work itself out. It's just frustrating, you know, we're so sorry. And it's, yeah, it is what it is. So we do have one card left. Number 42, have fun. So if you can, let loose, have fun. I told Alder, I love the back of this card. I said yesterday, we need to color and like do more fun stuff because what's happening is he's spending like 3 hours, you know, he goes out in the morning and starts the car and then he spends like hours, you know, chopping wood and doing stuff around here and then bringing all the wood to the door. And, you know, and then me like carrying the wood and it's like all day long. It's like, we're just like, you know, yeah, I don't want to sound like I'm complaining. I apologize. We're blessed. There's some people who don't have a roof over their head at all. We're learning. And yes, we're learning the hard way, but you know, we are having fun. And the downtime, I've been trying to make it fun for all of us. But there have been days where we're just like fucking so tired. Both of us. We're just so tired. There's just too much, you know, there's just too much. And it gets to a point where, you know, you can't let your ego get in the way. Okay, when I first opened the deck today, this was on there. Number 62, which is also the number 8. Share your gifts. So these are our themes. These are our themes for 2024, okay? This was the next card. It's in reverse. Take no offense. Sounds like some of you guys are setting up your boundaries. Number 53, which is also the number 8. So this is the year of not getting offended by people's shit. Not, you know what I mean? Not letting people and whatever, you know, don't take offense to it. Just go with the flow of it. 53. That number means anything to anybody. But it's also the number 8. Interesting that these two are 62, which is 8, and 53, which is 8. Share your gifts. And take no offense. You're going to have people, let me tell you something. When you really come out of your shell, you're going to have people who are going to make fun of you. You're going to have people who, I mean, I could go, oh, it is going. Yay. I was like, is the heater going? Because I'm freezing. But I realized because my feet are here, I need to move back. Hold on. I have had so many people in my life who have told me I'm crazy. I mean, so many things. And I believed it for a really long time. I took it in. I said, you know what? Maybe I am crazy. And even in these last, 6 days, I start joking on here, smoking a bowl, and I'm like, star date 6, blah, blah, blah. But it's also been so expansive. And I would rather be, construed as crazy if I'm expanding my mind and my consciousness and my reality into what is good for me instead of the narrow frame of the place of the where I grew up and my family and my friends who were like, you're crazy, you're this. I was labeled left and right all the time. I mean, my dad, my own father would tell me blonde jokes, like dirty blonde jokes. And I'd be like, like, am I the only one? I'm like, it's so inappropriate. Why is no one stepping in here and saying like, that's fucking weird, dude. Don't say those jokes to your daughter. She's 13. Just crazy shit. So we are not the sum of all of our deeds, and we are not our past. So 2024 is a time to share our gifts, put out into the world what we're meant to put out into the world. I keep hearing from a lot of people, so many people, that it would take me a while to name them all off, but everybody in their own way is talking about letting your freak flag fly, being the weirdo that you were brought here to be, because we've been made into the drones and all of these things. It's the artists and the weirdos that have made movies to show us a mirror, a reflection back to us of how we are living that life. Now we're starting to be like, are we in the Matrix? People are like, like I did, you know what I mean? It's like, and that's what we want. It's like, yeah, wake the fuck up, dude. Like, this is not what you think it is, right? Like, we are being controlled. So, there's a lot of things with this too, where I'm like, if we are meant to take this on, I'm not going to fucking back down, right? I was born and bred on the south side of Chicago, and not like south side, like brawlers like that in the south suburbs, but also it was that mentality. It is a very different mentality. And I was also raised in that kind of Midwestern, and I'm giving them labels only because that is what we have grown to understand, that as labels or terminology of something, so we can understand, but even then we're all having our own comprehension of what that word or what that energy means. I was meant to grow up where I did, and all of those people were my friends and my family, and they loved me and supported me, and we all, took care of each other, because that's where we were. And then we were all meant to go our own ways to find out like what works for us individually. If we stay in these like little, community is great, but you don't want to be clones. There's community, and then there's like, we're not clones. We're meant to be individuals, and we all have something to bring to the table here, right? The answer is simple. Be who you are. And that's the one thing I've been preaching since day one. I don't know who I am or what I'm meant to do fully. I know I'm going to sing more on this channel because I've been singing like crazy lately. And I don't know how long we're going to be in this house, but just in case, I don't want to regret not recording in here, because the acoustics in here are amazing. So I'm excited to see like that, like, there's going to be more of that kind of stuff. But this, getting it ready for the lockdown and then the lockdown. I mean, it was so, let's put it this way. It was so nice in here that we didn't even have curtains up, and we had like one rug. Like, it was so, we managed to keep it like nice in here with the fireplace, with the wood stove. But then it was like, when that cold came through, it's one thing when it's 45 degrees. It's another when it's 15. I was like, it was, yeah. So, wow, blessed. Another lesson, I will never, ever, ever forget all the things I learned here, one way or the other. And that's the thing right now. I said to Alder, I'm like, it's really difficult because we've both been wanderers. He and I have both been Baba too. I literally found Baba. She was sitting on a fucking bench at the bus stop when I found her. And then the girl at the coffee shop I was in, the nice young lady, she said, yeah, he's been here for about a week. They thought he was a boy. I thought it was a boy, but it's Baba. She's just a real masculine feminine, like me. She's my familiar. She's just waiting for me. I was literally in the cafe on my laptop looking for a cat. Hand to God. Goddess. So, and then when we were home free together, we noticed like we learned how to do it. We're like, come on, Bubba, we got to go. She was like a dog. And, so I don't know, there's a part of me that would love to do that again. And then there's another part of me that's like so tired. That's like, I just want to, because even in this situation, it's like, until we own it, it will always be like, who will own it first? What will happen? What, you know what I mean? It's very interesting. When I looked up, it was 51, number 6. So if number 51 means anything to you, or mirror 15. I feel like there's one more message. Is there at least one more message? Yes. Oh, number 14, just laugh. Yes. The other day, I will put a link below, but if I don't, I think it's called Rockstar, and it's with Rainn Wilson, the actor Rainn Wilson. Dude, the other day I said to Spirit, I was like, I need to laugh, because like we'd been watching all these different things, but I was like, I need a good gut laugh. Like I need to smoke some weed and like just laugh, And I said to Alder, I'm like, find us something funny. And he found us this movie. I was like dying laughing, and maybe it's my sense of humor, but and maybe as a musician, I just found it like very, anyway, it was good. But if you need a good laugh, get a good laugh. Or maybe there's a movie that every time you watch it, you belly laugh, Ted or something, whatever your humor is, I just heard Terms of Endearment. Exactly. Like whatever. That's a good tear. If you want a good laugh cry combo, Terms of Endearment. Holy shit. That's a good one. You know what? I may watch that one. Yeah, we've been trying to stay in a high vibration, and we got the Hallmark Channel for this month just so that we can, binge watch. We're on our last few episodes of The Good Witch, and I'm like, no, it's over. But it's been fun. It's been fun watching The Good Witch and Alder and I. But we had all these like ideas of things we were gonna do. But by the time we actually get done with all of our tours and everything, we're so fucking tired that we're like, yeah, no, should we just watch the show? Okay. We like fall asleep. We're like, oh wait, what's happening in the show? You know what I mean? It's been good for us too. That's why I haven't responded to a lot of you guys, because I'm just like, I had all these ideas for January, but what's that old saying? When you plan, God laughs. So just laugh. And number 14, which could also be mirrored in number 41. So any more messages, Spirit? I feel like we're going to read something from the book. So let me see. Any more cards? My Chicago's coming out. Number 31. Oh, which is also mirrored 13. The goddess keep dancing. Yeah, I've had this pick a card for you guys for like 3 weeks. I should have never told you about it. I'm sorry. I feel like it'll get done, but there's nowhere I can set up that is like where I get, because I never got an SD card before this happened. So I have to do it through the live format. And the only way to do that is to keep them in the windows because, we're up in the cabin up high and stuff. Anyway, not complaining, just explaining. I like that. Thank you, Spirit. They're like, you're not complaining. You're not complaining. You're just explaining. Okay. So we're going to do a little bit of this because they want me to read something from the book. Okay. Let's close this with if you can close your eyes and it's safe to do so, breathe in and out any way you like. Just close your eyes. I'm actually going to take a sip of water if you guys want to take a sip of water. I'm also grabbing my selenite, and I'm grabbing Tony. Remember him, Anna? He started out as a unicorn, but I slept with him night after night, and I woke up in the morning and his horn was gone, and his part of his face was gone. Then he was Tony the unicorn, and then he became Tony the dragon. Rose quartz selenite. And protecting us right now is labradorite and amethyst. Okay. Eyes closed. Thank you, Spirit. Stretch, breathe, get it out. Whatever you need to do. Be yourself. If you need to roar, roar. Whoa, do you see that? Oh, the book just flipped out. I opened my eyes for a minute. Sorry. You can have your eyes open if you want to. Okay. Spirit, open it to where you feel. Okay. To the left. Okay, I didn't bring my glasses. It doesn't even say which card it is. This is interesting. It's on page 68 and 69. Where in your life are you suffering from stink eye? You can keep your eyes closed or open them. It's up to you. Where do you feel less than or better than those around you? Where are you feeling inadequate or superior? Where do you feel jealous or indifferent? Where are you feeling angry or insecure? This false perception is robbing you of your right to inner peace, and it cuts you off from source. Everyone in your life reflects an aspect of you. If you're feeling inferior, you're not accepting your own strengths and gifts properly. If you're feeling superior, you're dishonoring the divinity in another. In either case, you suffer. Each person in your life mirrors you back to yourself. If you feel less than another, you aren't properly valuing your endowments and beauty. And if you're feeling superior, you're depriving yourself of the gifts of another. To clear the stink eye, look for the common elements you share with those from whom you feel separate. See both the human and divine in yourself, as well as others. We all have challenges and weaknesses, as well as divine light. Free yourself from stink eye by looking with the eye of spirit instead of the filters of the ego. My friends, we have just discovered our next pick a reading. That's why it hasn't come together. My whole body's in shivers in the best way. Oh my gosh, that's why. That's why. Wow. So that's interesting. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I believe 5 questions. There could be more. I don't have my glasses on, which means there'll be 5. So there'll be different readings because, maybe some of you aren't feeling that, but you're feeling that, or maybe you're feeling all of them. Maybe you need to read all or watch all of them. Oh, that's exciting. So listen, I've been trying to keep our pick a readings with me off the screen because I feel that in my experience, certain people's presence can be a little diversive and is that the right word? Not diversive. Where it takes you in the wrong direction. Diversive must be there for a reason. Now I have to research it. However, in this situation, and looking at where we are right now with everything, most likely I'm going to have to do it like this. So what I'll do is I'll just put a picture up, you know, that'll be to, you know, for the reading, for the cover photo. And then I will figure something out. But it'll probably just be where you'll go to the description and then, you know, you'll just go to, you know, whichever question you're drawn to. Some people may not watch this at all, right? So it'll just be a whatever reading for them. So, but that's exciting. I'm actually going to take these cards, Just Share Your Gifts and Just Laugh, and I'm going to put them here so I can remember. But they're on page 68 and 69 if that means anything to you, okay? And I could go down to the, you know, to the numerology of it, but if that's what you're looking for, research it on your own, because I'm at an hour and 44 seconds and I do feel like this is good. And unless Spirit wants me to, is there actually, you know what? I usually will put, Keep Dancing's on the bottom. Oh, okay. I have a feeling these may be the cover photo of the, let me see. Do you want to pull any more cards? Oh. Do we want to pull any more cards? Where did that go? Okay, no, we're done. So that is going to go there, and I don't know where that is going to go. Do we want to, are we done here today? Because I feel like there's one more. Is there anything else? Do you want me to do any channeling for, are there any channeled messages that you'd like me to bring through for anyone today? It's interesting because when I called everyone in, it was like everyone was so chatty. And then once I got started, it got kind of quiet. So, all right, those are our messages today. Thank you so much for being here, you guys. I love you so much. Thank you for being a part of my little family's journey. And yeah, if it's in your wheelhouse too, donations in abundance prayers, donations in, you know, signs of goodwill in our honor, you know, things like that. Just keeping your vibration high is gifting our family, right? Just staying in the love bubble is gifting our family, right? Because we're good. I mean, we definitely, honestly, we are more like this. It's just I was being real and showing you like where we've been to and like why we haven't done the things, you know. I mean, we're in our early 50s. You know, we're in better shape than we've both ever been in a really long time, but it's still, you know what I mean? It is what it is. Also at the beginning of the year, I fell really hard. I don't know if I talked about it with you guys yet. I did a video, but I didn't post it because I'm so sad. It's so sad. It's so sad. I'm in like serious victim mode. But anyway, yeah, it was really rough. I fell into the wood stove and it was rough. I was really hurt, but we healed me in like 2 days, but I've still been kind of coming back from that. But it's just, I've just been noticing, you know, Alder and I have been like noticing that we're not old, right? We're not old, but we're not spring chickens either. So there are certain things that we're like, what do we want to do? What do we not want to do? Like what feels right to us at this point, you know, and to all of our family, you know, all three of us. Bubba has a say too, you know, she's part of our family. So anyway, with that being said, you are my family and I love you and I send you so much love, happiness, joy, peace, and prosperity in all areas of your life. May you all be abundant. May you never ever want for anything. May your life be blessed, right? But also, may we learn the lessons. May we learn the life lessons. May we take in the awareness and the expansion and really grow with it. May we really change and evolve with it, right? So thank you. And we do have links below we have a PayPal and we also have a Venmo. So if you would like to even buy us a cup of coffee, that would be fucking rad. Because when this is done, we're going to have to buy everything all over again. And we luckily are blessed enough to have money to be able to get food when we get out of here and propane, but then that's it until he works again or I work again. But I would love to do readings too. And I am doing by donation basis as well. I always ask for a minimum of $50 donation because we're usually on the phone between an hour or more. And if you want a recorded reading, it's $50 and it's you get to keep it, and it's just for you. So if you would like to, my information is in, when you click the about section, my email is magicalmedium@gmail.com, and the magic with a K, the old way. And I still have lulaslabyrinth@gmail.com. For those of you, some of you have asked me, you're like, hey, do you still have that? I'm like, yep, I still have that one. I also still have Tallulah 1958. I don't know. It's in there. Anyway, until next time, take really good care of yourselves and each other. And you don't owe me or my family anything. We give because we want to. But at the same time, I've learned with community, it doesn't hurt to ask for help when you need it. So until next time, may you stay blessed. Be blessed. I love you so much. Take good care of yourselves and each other. Bye. I love you. Bye. It's going to take me a minute to figure this out. Okay. Bye. Oh, and look out for that picker reading. I don't know when it's coming, but I do feel like now I feel like it just clicked together. Do you know what I mean? So you can, if you're new here, my other channel is The Magical Medium, and there's a link below. And Bubba also has her own channel. She is our Maine Coon cat, and she is called Bubba the Great. So make sure to like, subscribe, comment, share. Sharing really does help with the algorithms. If you've been noticing, all of our channels are growing, and we're working really hard. You can tell on all of our videos. That's how I'm giving back too. It's not just the readings, you know, where we ask for donations. Like, we love entertaining people. We really do. And it's part of our gift and what we're putting out into the world, and also education with like the animal videos and all the other things that we do. So thank you. We love you. See you next time. Bye.